Never get into a relationship for this reason, okay? It's a bad idea. It never ends well, and it will just leave you like empty, hollow, whatever. I'm pretty sure you already know what it is, okay? Never get into a relationship for this reason, okay? Never. Everybody gather around the campfire. Sabar Wise is gonna tell another story. Story goes back to 2021, the summer of 2021. My homies would go hang out with this other friend group at her M's sister's place. Now, if you don't know who M is, she'll become relevant sooner rather than later, okay? For the sake of the story, we're gonna call this bridge friend Sensei. Now, Sensei is friends with both M's friend group and my friend group, and Sensei was kind of the bridge that connected both friend groups. So my friend group, the reason that they mainly hung out with M and her friend group was to just have a place to hang out at. M always had the hookups with you know, that type deal and this type deal. So I mean, they would just use her for that reason. You know, is it scummy? It kind of is, but it ultimately, I don't think they're terrible people because of it. But now you're probably wondering by now, who in the blue hell is M? But she is going to be my future girlfriend. Ooh, right. I mean, is she my girlfriend now? No, but like, you know, at the time, around that time period, she was. And this one specific time that my friends went over there, they invited me, and I went over, and Sensei's girlfriend comes up to me while I'm just chilling around the table with my homies. She comes up to me, she starts whispering in my ear, and she's telling me like, yo, Seb, like, M's over there on the couch and she wants you to go over there. You know, she wants to know how you feel about her, that type of thing. And I'm like, what? Like, M? Are you sure? Are you sure she's talking about me? And then she's like, yeah, she's talking about you. She wants you to go over there. And I'm like, I'm all confused because you know,
What the fuck was
what
that?
are you talking about? Why do you want to talk to me for? But anyways, two things happen at this very moment, the moment that that Sensei's girlfriend is whispering in my ear. Two things happen in my brain. There's two sides of my brain that activate. There's the lizard brain, and then there's the rational brain. The rational brain is like going off, the sirens are going off. They're saying, no, don't do it. Do not go over and sit on that couch and start to interact with M. Don't. It's a bad idea. It's going to end in disaster. Do not do it. And then lizard brain's going, oh, M, she's interested in me. So if she interested in me, that means she probably wants to do the freaky and the sheetsy type deal. You know what I'm saying? The monkey brain, the lizard brain is going haywire because neuron activated. You know what I'm saying? So I go over, I sit on this couch, I sit next to M, and we start talking. And listen, dude, this is where I messed up. And okay, hold on, let me backtrack. I messed up by sitting on the couch initially, okay? But where I mess up even more was by not telling her exactly how I feel about her. Instead, what I said was something along the lines of, oh yeah, I think you're pretty cool. You're a pretty chill gal. You know, I think we should get to know each other better. You know, and I start inflating her ego, basically. She's over here also inflating my ego. She's telling me how much of a cool guy I am and how handsome I am. And I'm just like, okay, like, whatever. I'm just nodding along because, like, you know, this is what my lizard brain wants me to do. It wants me to go along with the script that is being presented now. I also want to preface that I was not sober at the time. At the time that this was going on, everybody in that small apartment, everybody was under the influence. So I don't know how this happened, but eventually we end up cuddling. You know, I put my arm around her. She's resting her head on my shoulder, and I'm resting my head on her head, resting her head on my shoulder. You understand what I'm saying to you? And eventually we just end up kind of drifting into like napping, basically. And one of my homies, Manteca, who I mentioned in my previous videos, it was either him or Chef, I forget exactly. Somebody within my friend group took a picture of us taking a nap on the couch. which, you know, I don't hold that against them either, because it's like whatever, it's just a picture, you know what I'm saying? You know, I'm not too upset about it even now. Like, even looking back at it now, I think it's funny. That was the, I guess, inciting incident that led us to eventually coming closer together, kindled the fire, if you will. Eventually the fire will end up raging like crazy and dying down. We'll get to all that in a little bit here. There was this one time I do remember that we both skipped school. This was junior year that this happened. We both leave school, we go meet up. We're just talking at a grocery store, because like at this grocery store there's a diner area, and eventually the conversation goes in the direction of intercourse, okay? And for like us being safe during intercourse, because this I did tell her this to her face at the time, that, you know, I wanted the both of us to get tested prior to getting freaky in the sheets. If I'm gonna get freaky in the sheets with this broad, I don't want to get something. That same day, we end up heading to this one clinic where we both go get tested. That day, first of all, the walk there was super awkward. You know, we were both clearly uncomfortable, like with each other, because we have just had a relatively uncomfortable conversation. And I've switched to the lighter because the candle has died on me. And then we eventually get there. I do all the talking, basically, like, yo, we're both trying, at this time we were acknowledging each other as boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever. So the typical high school nonsense. But yeah, I tell the receptionist lady, like, yeah, my girlfriend and I are looking to get tested. And she like takes us to this back room where we go get tested, whatever. Or we're talking to this doctor, who the doctor gives us the rundown of like, so the both of you are gonna go into the bathroom, separately of course, and you're gonna go, you know, take a leak in this cup, and from this cup we'll do the testing, and then you guys can go. So we do that, and then we go back to this we go back to this room that we were at. While we're just kind of waiting for this doctor to come back with some paperwork or whatever, we're both just kind of sitting in silence, and it's just this, really don't know how to explain it. Like, it was kind of this like mutual kind of dissatisfaction with each other, and like we both didn't want to address it. Like we both could not be upfront and real about how we felt about each other. So instead of acknowledging, you know, this uncomfortableness between us, we would rather just be silent. At least that's my interpretation. I've never spoke to her about this, but what else, man? Then one day she lets me know she's gonna be babysitting her niece one day, and that Sensei and his girlfriend, that they're gonna go over and also help her babysit, and she's wondering if I want to go, and I'm like, of course I want to go. Like, I'm trying to spend more time with you. I asked my parents, like, yo, is it okay if I spend the night over here? And they're like, absolutely not. They do not like the idea of that whatsoever. But they do still allow me to go over. So I go over. I'm hanging out with M and Sensei and his girlfriend. We're having some beverages. I don't know how it snowballs into this predicament that we both got into, but, you know, eventually Sensei and his girlfriend stay in the living room, while M and we go to one of these like extra rooms within the apartment. Okay, just us two. We do end up getting freaky, not in the sheets. You would think it was the sheets, but no, it was more so the floor, which really sucked because I ended up getting a rug burn on my knees, which was not cool. Thumbs down experience. That was my first time doing that. And, you know, I would think that somebody who had experience with this sort of thing would be able to guide me a little bit better, but no. But it's fine, whatever. You know, I don't hold it against her. What still bothers me till this day about the whole thing is that I don't even know if I actually really got over it. Like, ever, dude. Like, eventually, like, yes, I did end up losing I mean, to be fair, I was never really attracted to her like that, but I still ended up going through with the entire thing, mainly just to get some action. You know, I'm not gonna sugarcoat. You know, everybody else in the friend group was getting some action, and I wasn't getting any play like that. So, you know, to feel like I was a part of the group, I wanted to also get in on that. Now, should I have ever gotten and involved in any of that? Absolutely not. I wish I never did. You know, I lost something that night that I can never get back ever. There's no take backsies with this one. There's no reloading a save game file with this one. Every time that I have seen her ever since, you know, we initially broke up around Thanksgiving of 2021, every time I see her in public, I don't know how to explain it exactly, but it's like a feeling in my chest, like a sort of like a constriction around my heart. I don't know exactly how to explain it really. It's just weird. Like, I just get sucked back into that state of mind that I was in during that time. Every single time that I see her, like most recently I seen her a month ago, and like the same thing. Like, I pull up, like I didn't even know that she was here. Okay, I'm going to get gas, and the car in front of me, you know, she's in the car. She gets out, we make eye contact briefly, you know, the thing in my chest happens, and instantly mentally I'm sucked back to 2021 and everything that happened. All the feeling, all the emotion, everything, the memory, everything. I'm sucked back there, and I don't really know if this is just me never really getting over it. The moral of the story, players, is never get into a relationship solely for some play. Never do it. Never. Don't even go out here being with people that you really don't care about also to get some action. Don't do that, because it's just gonna leave you empty and hollow. And I wish like you guys could hear the stories from Chupas, because he'll be with partners casually, you know, he says that it makes him feel empty inside. If you're going to be out here getting freaky in the sheets, fellas, make sure you're gonna be doing it with somebody that you realistically see yourself sticking around with for years on end. Like the video, subscribe if you're brand new, turn on post notifications. I'm out this bitch.